Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. However, this series is going to be a little different. So I wanted to create this series all about the various tools that I use in my everyday life. So this will be episode 1 and it's all about meditation and how I use it. And I feel it's very important for you guys and for me to share this information because this trickles down and goes into all aspects of your life. So this can also relate to weight loss if that's the goal you want to have, to wealth, to just being just happier with your life in general, and just to get through these daily obstacles that we all face, especially in the time that we're living in right now. So in this series, I'm going to be talking about meditation, I talk about Reiki, my spiritual awakening in a sense, and basically like the law of attraction, declarations, all sorts of things that I've come across throughout my journey that I love to use every day and what truly helps me get through these obstacles and go back into my truest self quicker. So I want to show you how I use these tools in my everyday life, and then hopefully you can use these tools as well to overcome any kind of daily obstacles that you're facing. And then these interesting teachings, really, they trickle down into the rest of your life. So you can use these tools to accelerate a certain goal you have in mind. If it's for weight loss, you can do it for a new job, for really anything you desire. It could be wealth, health, whatever you want. These methods really help just to have these in your toolbox of life, as I call it, and bring them out every time you feel like you need them throughout your life. And these are incredible tools that have completely changed my world and my life and how I operate day to day and interact with everyone. So I hope you enjoy this series. Let me know below what you think. And if you really like, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get into it. So let's start with what is meditation. Meditation, as described by Dr. Joe Dispenza, it means to become familiar with. So that could be to become familiar with who you are and your desire, your thoughts, your habits, your patterns, things like that. More self-awareness in that aspect. At least that's how my interpretation goes. And speaking of Dr. Joe Dispenza, he is basically like a neuroscientist in a way. He has a background in chiropractic and he hosts these amazing seminars I have yet to have the honor of going to. But basically he has brain scans of these folks, attendees who go through these meditations that he teaches, and the results are phenomenal, almost miraculous in a way. If you are interested about meditation, but you want to see more of the scientific analytical side, I highly recommend following Dr. Joe Dispenza. I personally love to do his morning meditations that I download through iTunes, and I do them literally every morning. It only takes about 20 minutes in my day, and it sets my whole day up for success. So I highly recommend his work. If you enjoy more of like spirituality and just the feel good, the motivational side of things, I highly recommend watching Abraham Hicks. And I also kind of go between Dr. Joe Dispenza and Abraham Hicks depending on my mood, but it reminds me of what my purpose is and how I'm going to continue to go towards my goals by listening to them and keep doing my meditations and working on myself to better myself and to better the people around me. So when you ask why choose meditation? Meditation has been used for, centuries. Personally, I thought it was only for hippies or those who, wanted just to use it for stress relief. And I didn't think I needed any of that until I started really digging in and researching and kind of looking into what the purpose of it was. And I started listening to Abraham Hicks, and then I found Dr. Joe Dispenza, and my mind was just like, oh, okay, I need to start meditating like now. So meditation is not just for stress relief, although it is very helpful for that. It is more, in my case, it is for stress relief, but it's also for helping me manifest and to focus on my goals in life, to remove myself from my environment and from the almost toxic negative thoughts that everybody can have from day in and day out. It removes me from those to focus on the positive and goal-oriented thoughts that I really want to focus on. So it helps set up my day to understand what my focus is, what my goal is, and to remember that what I'm experiencing right now is all temporary. It's all gonna pass. So instead of harping on what I might experience in the now, whether it's negative or even positive, focus more on the positivity side of things and go into those positive thoughts and habits and beliefs, because it's going to bring about more of those positive experiences. So you're putting out that vibration, you're going to receive it as well. So I started meditating a few years ago, and I started out just doing, going on YouTube and using the guided meditations because that's what worked best for me. And I needed somebody to guide me into that state of mind where I'm like a no one, no thing. It's just all those mundane thoughts just left, and I was just in the positive flow of things and the energy. And I started doing that, and then it kind of morphed into, once I discovered what it is that I want in my life and what I want to do, what I want to accomplish, the focus shifted in those meditations. So I'm using those guided meditations to visualize new thought patterns and habits and what it would feel like to have those things, to be those things. And that's what really changed in my life. So doing that every single day, it put me on the path to start this YouTube channel, to be honest, to do my research on health and wellness and to really work on myself. So without those positive feelings or emotions that I practice in those meditations, I don't necessarily think I would be where I am today, because those positive feelings, that's what I feel when I can do these videos and show this and share this content for you guys. Like, it brings out that feeling of freedom for me. And if I wasn't doing those meditations, I don't know if I would be here today doing these videos. So that's a really big reason why I started meditating. Then I kind of trickled into getting my dad to meditate, and that really changed his world and really shaped how he deals with life in general. And he's taken on more of a positive thought pattern in his everyday life. And life just becomes more fun when you start doing it like that. You start focusing on the more positive aspects, the blessings, and turning experiences into lessons in life and not focusing on the negative side of things and just moving on to the next positive thing, because it serves no purpose to harp on the negative side of experiences. And that is going to just bring out more negative things if you focus on that side. So meditation helps me bring it all full circle and to help me get right back into the focus of those good feeling thoughts. Let's talk about habits. Habits are, what you do every day, almost autonomously. You just do it automatically. You don't even really think about it. It's just like driving a car to and from work. Sometimes, I've done this before, you zone out and you're like, oh my God, how did I get here? And it's just, you've done that habit so many times, your body just does it automatically. It's a similar thing with your thought patterns too. So even though you're not physically doing something, your thought patterns and your beliefs, they create those habits. And then once you create those habits, if you're not aware of it, it can be a little bit more difficult to change. And then when things that come around that you want in life don't start happening for you, it probably is because you have these old patterns, these old beliefs that are stopping you from receiving that. So habits are basically just a series of beliefs. Beliefs are another series of thoughts. In order to change your habits, you have to change your beliefs and your thoughts. It's, though nearly impossible to control your thoughts, at least every single thought in the day, it's just near impossible. You have thousands and thousands of thoughts in one day. But what can help is meditating and being self-aware of those thoughts and your feelings throughout the day. So using those emotions as your guiding system on whether you are towards positive thoughts and what you want to manifest, or you're in the negative now. And so using those emotions as your guidance system, you can be more self-aware of those and then help kind of switch to the positive thoughts. So you're basically replacing a negative thought with a positive thought. So it's an interesting practice to do. It does take a lot of practice every single day. I'm constantly monitoring as many thoughts as I can. And again, it's just impossible to do that constantly. But when I do catch it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, let me think of something more positive. Whatever it might be, and then I can help switch that emotion over, and you'll notice life just becomes so much better when you start to do that. You start to lose interest in the negative Nancys in the world. Sorry if you're Nancy. It's just a saying. But it really, really just helps doing the meditation. Like for me, I do it every morning. Dr. Joe actually advises doing it in the morning because with your brain waves, you go through different stages of sleep throughout the night. And when you are waking up, you're in that like sweet spot where you haven't quite realized, who yourself is at that time. You start to wake up and you look over and you see, oh yeah, that's my boyfriend, my husband, in my house. Oh yeah, and I had that problem yesterday. Oh yeah, I was mad about that, so I'm gonna continue to be mad about that because now I remember what it was all about. So you doing a meditation right when you get up, you can immediately stop the flow of that thought and those emotions and go right back into focusing on what it is that you do want to feel, what it is you do want to focus on, and that positive aspect of it. So another really cool thing I found out when I was looking through Dr. Joe Dispenza's work is basically your brain, and he has these brain scans to prove it, which is so cool and interesting, that your brain, your mind does not know the difference of an emotion and a thought, of a visualization you have created in your mind versus something you are physically experiencing. It's literally mind-blowing. It's so cool. So I could close my eyes in a meditation and get into that state, a meditative state, and start to ask myself, what would it feel like to be healthy? What would it feel like to be wealthy or have the freedom? And your conscious mind, it goes through like a Rolodex of memories of when you had felt that way at some point in your life, and it kind of pulls that out. And then you start to visualize it. So you start to remember, okay, that's how it would feel and what would it look like? So you start to visualize that. So once you combine the thought, the visual, and then the feeling, your brain, you're creating these new memories essentially, and you're creating this feeling almost of like this magnetism, this vibration that you're bringing towards you because your brain thinks it's already happened. And once you can get on board with an event or an experience that has already happened without it physically happening, it starts to become manifested into your life. You start to draw that in because of the sheer law of attraction, which is a totally different video I'll probably do on the law of attraction, which is a really cool subject. But using the new patterns and habits and thoughts in your brain that you've created and these visualizations, you're going to draw that new event to you. And certain magical things are going to start to happen. And for me, little magical things have already happened along the way, and you just start to look at life completely different with a whole new lens. You kind of take off the rose-colored glasses and you start to see life in a whole new way. And it is liberating, the amount of freedom you get when you feel you have more control and you can co-create your life more than you have ever been taught or told before. And using this meditation, for me, it helped me get out of this victimhood that I had for being overweight and for all these excuses that I had and beliefs that I had on why I was overweight or the habits I've created. Comparing myself to other people and comparing my lifestyle to other folks, like, to me on paper, I should not have been overweight, but alas, here we are. And so using meditation, creating those new habits and those new patterns of thoughts in my head allowed me to navigate through this road to eating a whole food plant-based diet for myself and completely change my lifestyle, and seeing the results very rapidly, in my opinion, for the lifestyle that I live now. And I would not have been able to make such an easy switch if I had not put forth that emotion and created those in feeling results of how I'm going to feel when I get to this point, and visualizing what it's going to be like when I am healthy and in the body that I so desire. What would that feel like? And that just draws it closer to me. And so that makes those habits that I'm forming in my mind of my ideal self that much easier to do throughout the day. It becomes second nature because I enjoy it, because I know in the doing of those, I'm going to become the person that I so desire to be, that I'm already becoming myself. I hope that makes sense. It does in my chaotic head, but I hope that that kind of relates to and resonates with some of you out there. It certainly helped me, and I hope that this meditation video helps you. I can put a link also in the description below of Dr. Joe's work, Abraham Hicks, and then also a link to the meditation that I really enjoy doing every single day. It's very rare too that I miss a day. On the occasion that I do miss a day, I notice a difference. It's quite amazing. So practicing meditation every day is just become now a part of my life. And I hope that it resonates with most of you and creates a different habit forming tool that you can use in everyday life. Stay tuned for the next video, and I look forward to it. You guys have an amazing day. I will see you later.